Hello YouTube world, my name is Serene and welcome to Staying Serene. Staying Serene is a place where I encourage and inspire young believers to live by faith, pursue their purpose, and glorify God with their lives. Today I'm going to be sharing a Christian book review on All My Friends Have Issues by Amanda Anderson. I'm going to be telling you what I think, why I like this book, and why I think you should purchase it. So let's get right into this YouTube video. Number one, why did I buy this book? Well, I actually bought this book back in 2019 from a bookstore in Nassau. I was really just interested in the title and subtitle. So the title reads All My Friends Have Issues, and the subtitle Building Remarkable Relationships with Imperfect People Like Me. So I thought that was really interesting. It caught my eye in the bookstore, and it looked like something that I really actually needed. Back in 2019, I kind of realized that there are some friends that I had that weren't the best of friends, and I didn't realize that until the friendship ended. And so in that time I was thinking that I really wanted to be a better friend, but to also make better friends. And so that's why I picked up this book. Even though I picked this book back in 2019, I actually didn't start reading it until this year, but I found so much good stuff that I learned from it, and that's why I want to share it with you. Number two, what is this book about? Like always, we're going to turn to the back, which reads, why is it so challenging to create and keep meaningful friendships? Amanda Anderson provides the wise and witty answers, giving practical advice and sharing personal stories to guide us toward the kinds of friendships we long for. Blending faith-based insights and psychological truths, All My Friends Have Issues is a liberating guide to finding and becoming an authentic and encouraging friend. This is really a guide on finding great friends and being a great friend. It's all about safe and healthy friendships with like-minded women. The three main topics that this book is about is authenticity, encouragement, and accountability. So this book really just gives information on how as Christian women we can be godly friends to one another, how we can lift each other up instead of tearing each other down, and how we can let go of those people who aren't safe or beneficial to us. So this book is really just all about friendships, all about the relationships between women and how we can find and keep those good friends. Number three, what do I like about it? Well, one of the first things I like about this book is how short it is. I'm a reader. I love reading long books, but every once in a while, it's okay to pick up a shorter book that only takes a few days or a week to read. And this is one of them. This book is really so easy to just go through because of how short it is. As you can see, it's very thin. It's not that big at all. So you don't have to worry about it taking too long to read if you're a slow reader. And if you're a fast reader, then you can just go by it as quickly as you want to. This book is very short, and I think that just makes it so easy to just pick up and get through. I also enjoy the fact that it's really easy to understand. This book is not difficult to understand at all. It's just very short and conversational. I feel like Anderson is like speaking to us like in a conversation, and she's not trying to use big words to confuse you or, you know, just give you a lot of information. It's just she tells you what you need in the short time that she has, and she does a great job with it. So I find it to be short and easy to read. I like the fact that Amanda is very easy to understand, that she's very relatable, and she's very practical. The advice that she gives actually flows from the Bible, but also from herself and her own personal experiences. So she isn't afraid to talk about her own friends and to talk about the situations that she's had in her own life, the conflicts that have arisen, and how she was there for her friends and how her friends were there for her. And so it's like you have a friend in Amanda as she's telling you about her friendships, her relationships. I think that it's very relevant also to Christian relationships, because it speaks about things that, you know, us as Christian women deal with, like having different convictions from our friends, you know, having disagreements, you know, how we're able to pray for our friends, to encourage them in the Lord, and how we can make sure that we're not just good friends, but godly friends. So I think that this book does a real good job of being relevant and relatable, while also making sure that it includes those Bible references and speaking Bible truth through this book. I also like the fact that there's lots of references to outside quotes, pop culture references, and also the Bible. There's just so many interesting things in this book, so many interesting quotes, so much interesting things to learn from this book. So I really like this book, and I really think that I learned so much about it, about relationships and about friendships. Okay, number four, what is one of my favorite quotes from this book? One of my favorite quotes is, "The quality of our friendships is one of the determining factors in the satisfaction we feel in our lives." As C.S. Lewis wrote, Friendship is unnecessary, like philosophy, like art, like the universe itself. It has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which give value to survival. And I really love this book because it really shows us how our friendships are connected to the quality of life that we have. It's really about how our friendships make our life better. And I think that all of us are craving that connection. All of us are craving intimacy and authenticity with our friends. We don't want to be alone. And even though we know that God is our Heavenly Father and that He's never away from us, that He's always with us, that we can rest assured that even when we feel alone, God is with us. It doesn't negate the fact that we also need each other, that we were also created to have this intimacy with other people, to have connection, and to just have friends. The Bible even speaks about it in Proverbs, how, if two fall down, the other one can help pick the other up, and how we're just created with that in mind, to be with each other, to be each other's keeper, and to just be with one another. And I think that quote really speaks to the fact that, loneliness happens because we don't have that. And I think COVID-19, that whole pandemic, was the biggest lesson in, how we need to reach out and how we need to be intentional with our relationships, because we don't want to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone, and that we need to take those first steps that we need to take to make sure that we are alone. Okay, number 5. Who do I recommend this book for? Well, because Amanda is a woman, I recommend this for women. I think this deals specifically with female friendships. I wouldn't really recommend this for male friendships, because male friendships are a bit different than female friendships are. And this book really deals with a lot of things that are specific to female friendships, like, feeling jealousy or comparison or differences in conviction, and just, I guess, the differences that are among all of us, and just getting over hurt and being sensitive to one another. And so I think this book is really aimed at female women and the relationships that we have with one another. I also think that because Amanda is a wife and mother, she writes from this perspective. So she includes stories of, things about her, things that she might speak to her friend about her spouse, or, just talking to other people in her circle who have kids just like she does, or kids that are around the same age, and how she just create these relationships based on the fact that she was both a wife and a mother. And so I think that she really speaks from that perspective. But even if you're not a wife or a mother, you can actually get something from this book. You can actually learn something. So for me, for instance, I am not a wife or mother yet, but there was still so much important truth that was in this book that I got from it. There's so many incredible things that I learned, and I think that you can learn as well, even if you're not in that stage of being a wife and mother. So I really just recommend it for all women in general, but especially for those who are wives and mothers, because she speaks from that perspective. Anyone who really wants to have a good friend, who wants to be a good friend, and just wants to learn some principles of friendship, of relationships, of, finding good people and keeping them. So what are my final thoughts on this book? I really do like this book. Some of the pop culture references I just really wasn't used to, I wasn't really accustomed to, but I still think that it was a nice touch to add to the book. Before every chapter, there was that little quotes and stuff from different books, TV shows, movies that I think a lot of people will actually like. Another thing that I really like that I forgot to mention earlier is the fact that there's a reader's guide at the back. So the reader's guide is a section that really summarizes the entire book chapter by chapter and provides discussion questions and scriptures. And I really like that section. So if you read the book once and you really just want a quick refresher, you can just pick up the book, go to the reader's guide and go over it and make sure that you're applying it into your life. So I think that is very, very handy and helpful. This book is really good. It's short, it's to the point, and it just tells you what you need to know to be a good friend, to make good friendships. I really think that the title of the book holds true, which is All My Friends Have Issues, because it really shows in this book that we all have issues, and friendship is a lot about finding people who, who can help you through those issues, but you can also help them through that issues, Friendship isn't a give, I give, you take, or you take, I give. It's a balance. And I think this book really just shows us what a real relationship, a real friendship between Christian women looks like. It looks like having some conflict sometimes. It looks like, struggling with certain things in certain seasons and needing that extra help, that extra encouragement. But I think that this book just does a really good job of just showing us what it means to be a friend, and what we can do to make sure that we let our friends, know how much we care for them, and, that we continue to cultivate those good relationships. So I'm going to leave the link for this book, the Amazon link, down in the description box below if you want to purchase it. I really do recommend it as a short and easy read. I really do enjoy this book, and I hope that you learned something from this video and that you actually think about purchasing this book. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Okay, bye!